The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Unplugged. Today's conversation, we're tapping in with a Niagara Falls native, musical artist, entrepreneur, and podcast host. Fresh off the release of his new project, O.N.R.B, we're getting into the story behind the music, the mindset, and what it really takes to stay consistent and while building your own lane. Welcome in, Dirty O.
Hey,
how are you today?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm great.
Yeah. Good to be here.
I'm happy to have you. So for the people who may not know you yet, would you like to explain who you are, where you're from, and what do you stand for as an artist and entrepreneur?
Yeah, I'm from here. I'm from Niagara Falls, New York. I'm born and raised here. I go by the name Dirty O. It just came from doing battle raps. When I first started rapping, I used to rap like a cappella, no beat. And I was always looking for like competition, me versus one person, in that type of setting. And, people just was like, man, you did that man dirty. Like, so it was like that built up, and then I stuck with the name. The O, I just threw it on there. I was always a fan of Jay-Z, and I don't know why he got the Z, and I kind of don't know why I got the O, but that's kind of how I put it together. And I think music just served as a lane for me to take, and then I started branching off of it. So it led to other business endeavors for me. Merchandise was a thing, so I started investing in the t-shirt machines, and then that led to me creating my own merch and being able to put out my own merch. Meeting people, networking. I came across Hip Hop Weekly platform, which is something that I pay to be in and be featured in, and I had the opportunity to invest into it and become a part owner there. So then I got into there, and then from there it was just like my mind just started going all over the places, and I was just trying to see what I like to do. I got into remodeling houses and stuff with my cousin. So now I got like an Airbnb. So it's just been like, all trial and error, just seeing what works for me, diving in head first and, learning as I go.
So you wear many different hats.
Yes.
Can you tell me what it's like being an investor or a part owner of a brand or a company?
I would say it's risky. It could be aggravating because sometimes, I actually come from a street background, so I was always used to like a fast money. Like, okay, if I put my money into something today, I start seeing return on it today. So when you start getting into property or Airbnbs or even investing into like Hip Hop Weekly or Armadale Vodka Liquor, the rebranding of that, so it's like they was all rebranding stages. So the patience, I had to start building up my patience to realize that the money don't come right back to you. You have to sit down. You have to be patient. You have to put more groundwork in, and to actually see a return on your investment. So I would say, like, as an investor, maybe don't jump into it with your heart in it. Definitely don't spend your last on something if you can't afford to like take a hit. I think you always got to be able to afford to buy something twice or invest in something twice. So just always like have some type of stability and foundation about yourself before you go ahead and invest in something. The relationships you build with the people you invest in with is very important, I think. And from there, I think it's just about taking risk.
Taking risk.
Yeah.
I like that. So before we get into everything, what's one thing that people don't see on the surface level about you, but it defines you?
Maybe I think it's like a give and take. I think maybe the good heart I got. I think sometimes if you listen to music and we rapping about streets and drugs and violence, then people could kind of like think like, oh, that's what he about. When I grew out of that person, but it still is in my music because that's kind of like, my background and where I come from. So it's like, it is the foundation of my music. But other than that, it's like, I was raised by a good mother, and she always was taking people in and, showing love. So it was like, I find myself to be that same person. And I think some people just get this image, or maybe they hear stories about me and they just kind of don't think that's who I am. But I think I got a real good heart. I'm always trying to look out for people, especially the youth coming up. I love to see, kids thriving or the kids that's lacking something find like a mentor in me, and I can relate to their struggles and stuff, and you can see the change in them. I think that's very important.
One thing that I've noticed is that a lot of like street people, they are generally the most caring people. And I don't know if it's because of what they've been through. So like they kind of want to like prevent you from going down that path.
Right.
And then to speak to you, like you helped me out so much from cheer to podcasting. You show up at every event that I do, and I'm like, wow, like you're like my uncle. So
Right.
I do appreciate that. But yes,
And your mom and them told you because you was a little iffy at first. You was
I
like,
was-
I don't know, like I don't really
Yeah,
know
I
if I
was
could
like-
kind of like trust this kid, but. They told you, they was like, he gonna look out, like it's somebody you
Yeah.
could trust, he gonna be valid.
Yeah.
And I think we both kind of stuck to our, like, the relation, how we got introduced to each other has been nothing but blossom since then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I can, because I did listen to a few of your songs, and I was like, my mom wants me to interview this man. Like, what?
We come from the East. Shout out to Jackie.
Okay, so let's talk about the new album. What was the inspiration behind the name O.N.R.B?
Well, O.N.R.B, it stands for Older Niggas Rap Better. You know, I think this era, I think people got away from like the substance of hip hop and what rap is. I don't hear too much storytelling. I don't hear too much vulnerability no more. There's more stupidity I'm starting to see now. Like these kids is literally rapping about stuff that's getting them incarcerated, and they like telling on themselves in their music, which is crazy. You see some of the biggest artists in the game, Lil Durk and all these people, Young Thug, and they like going to jail over incriminating themselves in their music, and it's like this drill sound. So I think the O.N.R.B wave for me is just more so getting back to the artists that I was inspired by and just creating a healthy form of art, a healthy form of music. It's telling stories about my personal life. I think it's kind of like, you know, you could listen to it and some kids could be like, oh, all right, well, if I see where he is now and I see, you know, listening to this, that there is like a way out other than just the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm more inspired by Jay-Z's and Tupac's and J. Cole's and people that have substance to their music. So I think the whole O.N.R.B is about bringing substance back to rap.
I think that is so important because when you listen to music today, like even I'm young and I can't understand anything that they're saying, or it's like they're talking about pills and
Right.
you know, committing suicide 24/7, and it's like this is influential on the young kids in our generation. So what do you think will bring us all back to that substance in music?
We're probably a long way. We're probably a long ways away from that. I think it's just gonna be like the people that got the influence. You know, like I brought up Tupac, and like Tupac was a thug life. He rapped about gangster music, but it's like when you watch his interviews, like he was trying to, you know, tell black people to empower themselves and, you know, like believe in yourself and like, you know, like it's more to this. So I think once you start getting artists with that type of influence to start speaking more like he did, then we could start trying to see some change. Because to my knowledge, I don't hear no NBA YoungBoy like, you know, like rallying for kids or showing up for, you know, like protesting for certain things. I think they stay quiet at the wrong times, when I think like we need artists like that to start speaking up and being more in the forefront, especially like when we see, you know, like senseless murders or stuff along them lines. I think the names, the big names, and even the people that got substance, I don't really see them stepping up. I would like to say Kendrick is one of the people that do like, you know, like play a role in trying to like empower people. But then you got people like with J. Cole, and I think they kind of shy away from the controversy, when I think that if you got a voice and a following, that you should use it in the right way.
Do you think they're shying away from it because of what social media has done to the music community?
Yeah, I think so. I think people scared to talk. Mm-hmm. I think you could get blackballed so fast. Mm-hmm. You know, you could be up one day and you slip up and say the wrong thing, and now it's like you lose this good chunk of fans because you know. But I think the core fans is all that matter. So if I got 1 million followers or 1 million fans, and I got 60 to 100,000 core fans, I just want to cater to my 100,000 core fans, because I just want them to be able to always depend on me to be myself and speak up when it's needed, and not worry about it, especially once you get successful. Like if I already got the money in the bank, like as long as I'm smart with it, then it's like, okay, I could take a hit for a year or two and sustain myself, and then maybe down the line they could come back around and say, okay, now we respect him even more for standing on business.
Yeah, because even if you look back at like Tupac always had some kind of controversy going on, but he is the most respected and talked about however many years later.
Yeah.
And when you look back, you're like, okay, Tupac had a voice. Like, yes, he had songs like Hit 'Em Up, but then you also had Changes in Dear Mama. So it's
Right.
like there's
Right.
balance there. And I don't know. I think it's a lack of literacy.
That might be true too.
I think it's a lack of literacy.
That might be true too. I don't even know how far these kids is getting in college or school, period.
They're you don't want me to talk about the education system right now. It's interesting.
So wait, do you think that you think it's both sides? Do you think it's the kids not wanting to do it, or do you think it's the education as well?
It's everyone. I
Right.
actually just had this conversation with somebody yesterday, I believe. It's everyone. It's the parents, it's the community, and it's the kids.
Right.
So like I work with kids, not only like in my job, but I'm a coach. So I see how parents are involved with their children.
Right.
And then I see how the community is involved with their children. And then I see how other adults are involved with the children. And it's like, it does take a village, and we're kind of losing that
The village, right.
Yeah. We're losing the village. So if
Yeah.
there's no village, then nobody's going to.
Yeah, they
get
say
to
that
where
when
they
I was
need to
growing
be.
up, you know, like the next door neighbor could kind of like tell you when you're doing something wrong, and you kind of respected it. It was like an elder thing. And now these kids don't. It ain't about elders no more. It's about you ain't my mama, you ain't my daddy, and it's talking back, and I think it's
These
wild.
kids think that you're supposed to respect them before they respect you. That's the
Right.
problem.
Right.
So we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I volunteered coach before for 716 United basketball program, and what helped me was actually the stuff I've been through. Because when these kids was going home and it was like, well, Mom, Coach Dirty said this, and they like, Coach Dirty, who is Coach Dirty? And then they did their research, and then they was able to be like, oh, well, listen, you need to listen to him. You know, like he been through some stuff. Like you need to pay more attention, and I got to build solid relationship with these kids and actually impact a lot of them kids because, you know, the mothers kind of was like that's somebody you should listen to. That's somebody you should give some respect to. And then I got the respect. But before that, no, it was.
Yeah, but why do you have to know who I am to respect me? Like growing up, you didn't have to know who somebody was to respect them. Somebody,
right.
you seen an elderly black woman walking down the street and she's like, "Hey, baby, pull up your pants," and you're like, "Yes, ma'am."
Right.
Nowadays, it's
Right.
why are you talking
Cursing
to
or
me? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, what track on the album hits the deepest for you, and why?
Okay, well, so I got two projects out. I got O.N.R.B. Volume 1, which I dropped January 20th with my boy Bless 3K. He produced the whole CD. On that album, it's a song called Wrong Shit. And the hook basically goes, niggas always worried about the wrong shit. And I think that's just like, for me on that CD, that hit the hardest just because I just see so many people worried about the wrong stuff. Like, I see people that's like, their kids failing at school, but they will argue all day about Cardi B. Like, it's like, why is you worried about a celebrity who got their life in order? They famous, they set, and your kid ain't even pulling through with simple grades. Like, worried about the wrong stuff. A lot of men worried about the wrong stuff. It's like, I know people who can't pay their rent, but they're at the clubs. It's like, why is you at the club trying to get in this section and you know you owe people money? Like, worried about the wrong stuff. So that would be off the first one, which is track 1 on O.N.R.B. Volume 1. Volume 2, which is called Designer Pain, is a solo project where it's just no features. It's just me on there by myself. And on there, it's a song called Connected. And I made a song just basically how I relate to everybody. It's like how I relate to the women, how I relate to men, how I relate to the hustlers, how I relate to the kids that's struggling. So it's like it's really about being connected to everybody in a different kind of way.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, with your very first project and then your latest project, how do you feel like you have grown? Because how long have you been in the music
You mean
industry?
from the first one I ever made?
Yeah, the very first project to your very last project. How do you feel like you've grown over that time?
My first project that I really put out was probably like 2012, maybe 2013.
That's
So-
not that long ago.
But it was like, that's pre-social media. That's pre-streaming.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. We was pressing up CDs.
Really?
And selling them hand to hand at Walmart's or at the malls.
Wow.
So from there to now, I would say maybe delivery. I got a lot better with voice control because I was always, like I stated earlier, I would rap a cappella, no beat. So I was always able to control how I said things. And then when you get a beat, now it become more about melodies and like vibes. And it was like, my mama white. I didn't get all the rhythm and stuff. Like, I didn't get it all, like I was supposed to. She ran the household, so I listened to a lot of rock and roll coming up, which is kind of crazy. The early part of my years is all rock and roll. I don't even know my dad liked to hear. He wasn't allowed to play music. My mom ran that. But the growth came from comfortability, being more comfortable with myself instead of like, I think I was trying to follow trends at one point. It was like, oh, yo, this is how music sound. Like when Atlanta had the sound. So it was like, I was trying to make music that sound like what they was doing in Atlanta. And then it was like, oh, well, no, now this is the sound. Now I'm trying to make, then it was like, no, I got to a point where it's like, how do I sound? You know what I mean? What about myself? Like, how do I view this beat? And it's like, instead of trying to make a hit record, I started getting more personal. I started telling more of my own story. And I think that's where the growth came. And from there, it was like I started seeing more opportunities come. I toured with Benny the Butcher. I toured with Conway. I've done an independent 7-city tour with just a friend of mine that we funded ourselves. And I think all of that just came with just the growth and just more believing in yourself and starting to figure out the dynamics and understanding the hip-hop industry more.
Okay, I have two questions. So one, can you go a little bit more into depth about the 7-city tour? Because I'd like to hear about that. And then the second question would be, do you feel like music is like you kind of have to learn how to study it? Because you said you had to like learn how to catch the melody and the beat and whatnot. After whichever question you want to answer first.
Yeah, the 7-city tour. So it was like me and my friend Ponzo. Shout out to my boy Ponzo Houdini, Cake Boss. He's like he's an entrepreneur. He's a businessman. Music, Hip Hop Weekly. I own Hip Hop Weekly. I met him. He was pushing his brand. He paid to get on Hip Hop Weekly. I seen the drive he had, and I was like, yo, I'm just gonna post you for free. Like, you know what I mean? Because I don't meet many people around here that had that type of drive and ambition. Then we went on tour with Benny, and I think twice. So through that process, we going to Boston, we going to DC, we going to Cleveland, we going to Philly, we going to all these different cities, and we meeting people. So then after a while, he came up with he was like, yo, like I met enough promoters where we can just book our own clubs and go perform our own music, find local artists from them areas, have them open up for us, and we just go hit the road ourselves. So I was like, man, I'm down. Like, that sound crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, road life. We all packed it up in cars and following each other city to city. And it was a great experience, I think. We did shows with 15 people in the crowd. We had shows with 150 people in the crowd. And it's like, so to be able to do that on your own, it was a good learning experience, good networking. And again, I think it's just about having faith in yourself, just more like, a lot of people don't have that drive or ambition to be like, yo, I'm about to like save up money and invest into these. We gotta find the venues. We gotta pay the venues. We gotta get the artists. We gotta travel. We gotta get hotels. We gotta, it was like really putting yourself in that lifestyle, and it was a dope experience. Yeah, very dope experience. And the next question was,
do you feel like music is art that you have to like study because you were learning how to catch the melody and whatnot?
Yeah, I think by having favorite artists, like once you, so like Jay-Z was somebody like that I just like learned, and I was more so about the lyrics. So when I listen to music, I'm more listening for lyrics only. And the beat, it could be a corny beat, but if he's saying some stuff that I relate to or I think is dope or fire, then I could grow to that artist. So the beat selection became more of the studying part for me. It's like people was like, yo, dude, like your voice is not gonna sound right on everything. Like, you know what I mean? You got this deep, raspy type of voice where it's like you gotta find a sound for you. So yeah, then it became studying. Like now it's like, what beat makers or what sound fits for me. And J. Cole's story was pretty dope for me because he was a real student of the game. Like J. Cole's, Nas, the more in-depth artists that really give you them stories, and they studied the game. So when I heard the work they put into like, oh, I know how Jay-Z rap on. I know the cadence Jay-Z used on that, and I know the cadence Eminem used on that. Like, and I'm hearing how they like studying artists, and then they can mimic it when they need to, or it can help inspire a sound for themselves. That's something I'm just now recently getting into. So hopefully, there's more growth to come. It's more growth to come.
You know, it's something I realized. Like if you listen to like older songs from like the 90s and 2000s, they paid a lot of homage to artists before them.
Yes.
Artists today don't do that, and I feel like that's goes back to what we were discussing earlier. That's kind of why we're like lost with the music.
I think they hate on the older artists now.
But they shouldn't.
Right.
You
right,
shouldn't be
right.
hating on the people that paved the way for you, because it's like they don't even they use samples, but like, you know, when you use a sample, you should throw in a bar or two about what the other person said. That's what everyone else does. They're
Right.
just like, no, I'm better than them.
Right.
Like, you're not.
And some of them getting sued though. I know, like I think Glorilla had to Wipe Me Down Boosie sample,
Did she?
and he had to sue her.
I don't listen to her. I'm not a girl.
Shout out to you for that.
I'm not a fan of her.
The thing that killed me though is these kids, they listening to all this music with our samples in it, and they don't even know where the samples is coming from. They like, oh, this song is fire, and I'm like, well, come here, let me play the original for you.
And then you'll love, like, the original is probably 10 times better, and
Right.
they wouldn't agree. They're like, man, turn that off. Like, it's bad.
It's tough. My kids hate my old school music, and I'll be trying to like pound it. I'm like, no, you gotta hear what they saying. They like,
Do they
that's
hate
corny.
Jay-Z?
Yes.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, my son was like, yo, he whack. And I was like, he whack? Like, what? I'm like, so who fire? And they like, somebody with a crazy name like Quando Rondo 7000. I'm like, I don't even trust the name.
No, I think he has beef with NBA YoungBoy, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really listen to too much rap nowadays, but they got to get on the Jay-Z wave. They have to.
That's true. That's true. You know, as of recently, Jay-Z was my favorite artist for like ever. Like, but as I'm getting older, I like to move DMX and Tupac more into the category, only because I think they got a song for every situation. Like, you sad, you mad, you want to fight. Like, Tupac and them got songs for every emotion. Like, where Jay is more like the fly, get money.
Yeah.
He encouraged you to, business. Like, that's his wave, and I respect it.
Summertime music, like, you just want to ride to Jay-Z in the summertime. I'm shocked. I've never heard of anybody not liking Jay-Z.
I know, no, they don't mess with him.
Oh man, have you played like the whole catalog for them? Like,
Oh yeah, but see, they got no choice though, because we going on road trips. We taking drives to Atlanta, 13 hours. Oh, you gonna hear some Jay-Z albums? You ain't got no choice.
they're lying to you.
But now they got these AirPods and stuff, so they tuning my music out. They in the back with headphones on, not even trying to hear what I got going on.
Oh man, that sucks. So may I ask, what's your favorite DMX song?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. I at this moment right now, for emotion, like where I'm at right now, I would probably say For My Dogs. Slipping is always a song that you just he just got that passion in his voice where it's like when he rapping, it's like yo, this man was going through it. Like you could feel that through his music, and that's where I lack from Jay-Z. I don't think Jay-Z give me that. Like when he rap, it's always about, I think like this, oh, he counting some money or something somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? He working on his business plan. Tupac, DMX, sometimes it's like, yo, like, let me rewind that. Like, it's like, or get you reflecting on stuff you went through. Be able to slipping is like an all-time favorite for me for DMX.
Yeah, I actually grew up loving both of them. I was obsessed with Rough Rider Anthem.
Yeah.
And then with Tupac, I started watching a lot of his interviews when I was young, and I was like, wow, like this is like a really cool guy. Like he cares about the Black Panthers, but then he also cares about hip hop, but then he also cares about his community. And it's like, how are you so diverse as an individual? And he was my age before he passed away. So
27.
it's like, oh, I thought he was 25.
Yeah, he was 27, I think. When he
That's
passed.
still very young.
It is young.
But he was so diverse. And it's like, how are you so diverse at such a young age?
Just growing up, his mama and him was strict Black Panthers, so he was reading newspapers when he got punished. Like his mom, it was like, I think his aunt was like number 2 most wanted in the world. Like, so
they just caught her, I believe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's like, he just grew up in that era where it was like revolutionary. They was like coming out, and then it was like he got to voice that through his music and create his own wave. You know, the whole thug life thing was like you said, it's like it's not about being a thug. It's like, but it's like it's what you come from to represent that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, when I used to go to clubs, oh, like we go to clubs, we know we got problems at the club. We throwing on Tupac. Because Tupac gonna have you ready. You gonna walk into that club militant.
Are you playing Hit 'Em Up?
Yeah, I'm gonna play Hit 'Em Up and I'm gonna play Hellraiser. It's a song called Hellraiser.
I've never heard that one.
No?
I'm going to listen to that when I leave.
Yeah. And he brought light to like, he always mentions this little girl named Latasha that died, and it was just like something that he's seen on the news that impacted him when he watched it, and it was like he put it in his music. It was just like, we used to grow up like, who the hell is Latasha? Like, why is he rapping about her? But to come to find out, it was literally just something that he's seen on the news that bothered him because a young black girl got killed by like a stray bullet or something, and it was like made him put it in his music. And he let you know, drink that Henny, go to get turned.
Yeah, but that goes back to just us being a community in a village. Like, you have to know that people care.
Right.
Because, like you said, artists today are not doing that. You're not going to hear anybody. Granted, like, well, we have a lot of... I'm not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that.
Or I do think if you use it like, you know, like give back, you know what I mean? Like, you want to rap about Trayvon Martin or make a George Floyd song or something like that, like let his family reap some of the benefits if you earning off of it. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's important too. Like,
Yeah, and I think there are so many foundations to that we have, like, in the Black community where proceeds go to families of gun violence or
Right.
police brutality, all that stuff. But I'm going to switch the topic.
I don't trust all them people either. I don't trust all them foundations.
You don't?
Not all. No.
Why?
I think there's too many crooked people in the world. I think like church for me is like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all going to church giving all this money and the pastor got a plane. Like, that don't sit right with me. How the pastor got a G4 and so it's like, how y'all dedicating all y'all money to some of these things? And it's like, you think all the cancer research money is going to cancer? I think somebody's in a position where it's like,
I can actually talk about that all
man,
day.
let's take 20,000 and throw it over here for us. And I just think anybody
Yeah.
that's running something with that much money is going to scheme off the top.
I think there's too much research and money in the world for us not to have a cure to anything.
Well, I mean, no. Well, they make their money off the medicine, so
Yeah.
they got the cure, but
Yeah.
we ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, that's what, like, there's too much money.
No, we just gonna make a new drug to make you feel better.
So, you're not just an artist. Obviously, you're also an entrepreneur and a podcast host. How do you balance all these roles?
I try to figure that out too. I don't got no time for myself. I mean, before we got on, you was talking about it. It's like, but I like to stay motivated. I like to stay active. I don't like to sit around and not do nothing. You know, so it's like, as many hats as I can wear, then I want to wear them. So, and just being involved with stuff that keep my interest. So it's like, I'm not doing nothing that I feel forced to do. I'm not doing nothing because I'm like thriving for $1 off of it. So it's all passion behind it. And I think as long as you involve yourself with anything passionate, then you gonna keep some momentum behind yourself. And then and this is just always moments. I think like podcasts, music, you know, just being a person of the community. I think it's always these moments where you be like, man, I'm tired of this shit. You be ready to give up. You ready to be like, man, I'm done with all of this. And then it's like a moment come where like a kid or you get a message from somebody and it's just like, yo, man, I love what y'all do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was this episode, like y'all had me, like got me through work, you know, like, or yo, this one song, man, I related to that. I never would have thought you went through that. And I think those moments is the reminders that it's like, okay, you know what I mean? It is purpose to what I'm doing. And everybody you inspire ain't gonna tell you inspiring them. So I like to keep that in the back of my mind, whether it's somebody that watch me every day and never tell me. I think it's always, you know, like I think that's always the driving force for me, is just knowing that, you know, a laugh here or, you know, a look out here or a song here could really impact somebody else in a way that we don't even know.
Has there ever been a moment when, like, someone has came up to you and said, hey, like, your music or your podcast, like, that stood out to you the most, that kept you pushed in during a hard time?
Music, I think it was more so just like strangers, like bumping into people randomly at 7-Elevens or, you know, laundromats or something, and they like, yo, Dirty, man, yo, bro, like, man, yo, like you really putting the city on, bro. Like I never thought I'd see like somebody from here like around celebrities like that. Like so it was like those things like stood out. I think the strangers, I think the people close to us forget to remind us how what we doing, to encourage us. I don't know why people lack that, but it's like the people closest to us is where we want to hear it from. But I think it hit different when it come from people that you don't even know watching. So I love for the strangers or people I never met or people on the internet hitting me like, yo, man, I would love to do a song with you. Like, like how much is it going to cost me? And me at this point in my career, it's like, I'm not looking to try to hurt nobody's pockets. So I'm more so like, man, how much money is you going to put behind the song? Like, how about you don't give me nothing, but make sure you put $400 or $500 behind the song so that it get some reach to it, So it's like I'm always that type of person, and that definitely keep me going.
So how much does it cost to put out a project, like estimated price?
If you buying all your beats, and so I cut out all the middleman. So I will go back to before I had my own studio and in-house producers and stuff. I would say a couple thousand. Yeah, a couple thousand as far as getting artwork together, purchasing your beats, getting studio time. Then after you record the song, it's not done. You got to get it mixed and mastered, and so it's like that's a whole nother price right there. Then the marketing, putting some. If you really want to do something serious, I would say you need about $5,000 to $10,000. If you really want to take a project, get it all done, record it, and then have it displayed in the right way, I would say $5,000 to $10,000.
Was it a little bit cheaper cheaper to be an artist but pre-social media?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think labels was looking for talent for real. And now they're not looking for talent. They're looking for people with followers and personalities. And it's like, you don't even have to be talented no more. You can have some controversy surrounding your name and that'll get you a record label, a deal. And it's like, you got shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a record deal because you got shot.
That's actually insane.
And it's like, well, they rather that than real talent, just because it's like, oh, we have a story now. We could just like promote this story, or oh, you have 100,000 followers on Instagram. Oh yeah, we'll take a chance on you. Like it's like social media has done that. When before it was like really about like being talented. Now it's just about being a personality or having something attached to you. It was just this interview to do from Say Cheese, which is a big platform for music, and he said, like, if you want to make it in a rap game, diss somebody, create some beef, diss somebody, or go find one of these Instagram girls that's twerking and got a following and get them to post you. Like, that's really the way now. Like,
so it's hard to be an artist in today's world.
Yeah. I think if you're really trying to do it, I think like that's why I say I'm passionate about it. My writing comes from language arts. Mr. Alessi had an English teacher named Mr. Alessi, and I had an English teacher named Miss Tenebra, and them two people just was like, they helped me understand what writing could do as far as just expressing myself, and I fell in love with writing more than I fell in love with music. And then it's just writing is music, so it with the lifestyle I was living, it just went hand in hand. So I'm always gonna write. Whether I get $1 from it or I got to keep putting dollars into it. I'm always going to create.
Are you a reader?
I do like to read.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you are like very, very articulate, and I'm pretty sure you hear that a lot. Like,
I surprise people because of my background, so it's like, it seems like they like, you ain't supposed to be sounding intelligent like this, bro. You know what I mean? But I'm now more into like self-improvement books. Like anything, the laws of attraction, stuff like that. Shout out to my barber Ninja. He's in audiobooks, and he listens to all these like just let them books and like get comfortable with being disliked. Like he into stuff like that, and so when I get haircuts and I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, I need to hear this type of like this information where it's like, but yeah, I love to consume knowledge. So
yeah, definitely have to get comfortable with being disliked. But do you feel that podcast has influenced how you communicate or tell a story as an artist?
I think the artistry helped the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it went the other way around. I think because I was already with the music and I was always Public speaking. Public speaking is like a fear for people, so
Me.
yeah, so getting on stages, going on tour with Conway, Benny, we was in front of maybe 1,500, 2,000 people at some times, like, and it's like, got nerve. Of course, I'm nervous going before every show, but it's like once I walk out on the stage, it's like everything go away because it's like I'm just doing something I love, and this is my art that I'm about to put out there.
Right.
So it's like I'm comfortable with my art. So from there, it was like, and then like you just said, I got a decent way of speaking, so it's like that just brought podcasting it made sense to podcast.
So for like when you practice, I don't know, do you practice speaking? Like, do you ever like, are you the type to sit in front of a mirror and practice talking, or you're just like, no, I got this? And then,
I'm just throw me out there.
How did you gain your confidence?
I think just being surrounded by a big group of friends.
Okay.
Like, so when you with a large group of friends and everybody is confident, it's like you got to find a way to eat. Because if like everybody going after the food and you just trying to sit back there and it's like, nah. But I found my own way is what I did, because I was like, okay, they savage, they thirsty. Like, I'm going, find my own way to do it. But I think that's what helps with the confidence. And then just being competitive, sports helped a lot. Playing basketball, I love hooping, so it was like that created an edge where it was like, it's like the practice. So it was like I practice my lyrics obviously before I write. So I like to get my music done and go in the studio without no phone, no paper, no pen, and then just be able to recite what's off in my memory. So it's like stuff like that is just like it's like the 5 P's, right?
Of marketing?
What is it? Proper performance prevents poor. It's something like that.
Wait,
the
you mean
5
of
Ps.
marketing, right?
I think so.
Okay. It's crazy because I studied. I don't know the
Yeah,
5 Ps.
but basically it's just like in Chinese luck is something that a lawyer I had told me about, which was just when like Americans think luck is like winning the lottery or like finding $10 on the ground, and Chinese luck is more like when preparation meets opportunity. So it's like you have to be prepared for your opportunity. A lot of people get opportunities that come their way. They just didn't put the work in. So when opportunity come, they miss it. So it's like if you're always preparing for something, when it comes, it's that light bulb go click and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is my moment.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that a lot. So with all 3 hats that you wear, what impact would you like to have on any youth or creatives coming up in the city?
Take chances. I think blessings come from giving blessings. So I really think that when I get around the youth, it's more like one of my baby mothers always say, she's like, you're a Renaissance man. Like you always trying to find the positive and stuff. But that is me though. So it's like no matter what situation we in, it's just the situation we in at the moment. Like it's gonna pass. Like you gotta find out a way to be resilient. So like that's my whole thing, is just like don't carry no negativity around. Even if you in negative moments, even if you in a bad space, whatever, like you could be broke and it could still be something good to look forward to. Like you woke up, you know what I'm saying? Like it's still something positive to find in every day. So I think that's what I like to pass down to mostly everybody I come across, is like, bro, man, we all been through bad days. Like, and it's like, I could sit here and talk about, like losing my mother or losing my best friend, or, you know what I'm saying? Or I seen my brother get shot before. I seen my friends get stabbed. I seen so much trauma, and I could be one of them people to bring that up every time something happened. Or I've been through this, or I've been through that. And it's like, they ain't gonna get me nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I use that as motivation. Like, and it's like, it's the scars that you don't see. So I always try to encourage people to just like find some positivity in something.
Yeah, I think that's a great mindset to have, especially in this city, because like as you know, people say we have a dark cloud around us, but it's like you either be the sunshine or you be the cloud. Like
right,
you choose like how you don't choose your environment, but you choose how to kind of navigate it, I guess.
That's the perfect way to say it.
Like,
Because people they use this city as an excuse. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and honestly, like as I always say, there's so much good in the city,
right?
And people just they choose not to see the good in it. Like, we have the seventh wonder in our backyard.
Right.
You go and sit down there for 2 minutes and you're like, wow, this is beautiful.
Right.
Like,
we have a running back that won a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers, James Starks. We just had a kid, Roddy Gale, win a national championship. Quadri went to the NFL. Johnny Flynn made it to the NBA. Like, Jeff Palmer is on his 18th year overseas playing basketball. Like, it's so many people that came from here. I know it was a dude from here that was on one of them National Geographic things where they catch the fish in the wild oceans, and the Bobby Anderson was on. Come on, it's like, y'all just looking the wrong way. You know what I mean? Y'all keep looking at the negative and embracing that instead of saying like, well, this happened and this happened and this happened. But them same people, what is they doing to try to change anything? Right. The hell with them.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna like take that and like let it sit with me, because that's a great take. Like, just to make sure that you can't control your situations, but just change your mindset about it.
That's it.
That's all you have to do.
Because who don't go through stuff?
Like, we're all going through stuff 24/7.
Right.
And it's just about, you can't walk around letting it defeat you, and you can't let it show that you're going through something.
Mine's happened when I was 9 years old. I thought we was poor. We had roaches. It was bad. You know what I mean? And I just thought like this was like the worst time of life probably. And then I met who was like my best friend now. And it was my mom, my dad. It was 5 of us. When I met him, it was his mom, his dad, and 10 of them. Wow. So he literally doubled my bad. And that's when I started saying, life ain't that goddamn bad.
Yeah, because you never know what the next person is going through.
Right.
Like, your bad day could be their lucky day.
And that's real. And that's when I changed my mindset. At a young age, I was like, oh, wait, this how y'all living? Shit.
Yeah.
We got cable at least. Shit, I'm about to be grateful for something around here, because we had a little bit of roaches. Y'all had a lot of roaches. It was different. It was just different. It was something different to witness. Like,
yeah. So is there anything that we should be looking out for coming up?
Yeah. So right now I'm doing like a little promo run. Actually next weekend I'm out in Atlanta. It's some big platforms out in Atlanta that I'm about to do. I got some shows coming up May 1st in Buffalo. Another show May 22nd in Atlanta. New York. Going back out to New York. I just left a networking event in New York. I'm going back to another one. There's some big platforms in New York I'm about to get connected with. So it's just about to be real highly active for me. I just keep meeting new people, keep networking, and just building off of that, and taking the resources and making sense out of them. Because some people looking for money, some people looking to look out. And, some people just don't want nothing. They just, you come across all those things in this type of industry where people like, oh, okay, I can make $1 off him. Like, he look like he got a couple dollars. I'm about to charge him. And then some people like, yo, this costs $1,000. You know what I'm saying? My man can get you for $750. So it's like, it's all plug and play type of things when it comes to the industry. And I'm gonna drop another, probably maybe 1 or 2 more projects, because they all short. I think the first project is like 12 minutes. I think the second project is like 15 minutes in combined. So it's like, they short projects, they right to the point music, and that allows me to keep creating, and I create better when I'm on the go. I got some singles coming out, and I'm just gonna be super active, and just on top of that is just I'm still gonna be involved in my community, and like showing up where it matters, and then just making it all make sense.
One thing that I can say is I think that the community is getting a little bit better with showing up for each other.
Yeah. Y'all helping with that. Y'all generation is kind of helping with
that. I'm starting to see like a lot of connection with everybody, but you guys are playing a big part too. So
right.
Like we're getting there. But it sounds like you're on a personal run this summer. Yeah.
And that's why I did it what I did. I made a joint album with my boy, and I did a solo album. So it's like, well, if he can't make it, I could go on my own, because it's like, at first I was stagnant, like, damn, I need him there, because we got a project where we own every song together. So I'm like, okay, let me create another project with just me. So it's like, I can, like take my boys when it makes sense, but it's like, everybody got their own lives. So it's like things that they can't do, then I could just go ahead and do them on my own. But yeah, very personal. I'm trying to motivate all the people around me, and man, hopefully change a lot of people's lives one day is what I would really love to do, and especially something for the city. I would really like to be a part of something huge here, like maybe a community center one day, or something that's going to change, give us that old feel back where people is coming together. I seen people doing women walks. I seen a girl just created a women's walk for women. You know, like
Shout out to Raina.
Raina, right?
Yeah.
You know, Raina's like she's close like family to me. So it's like
Yeah.
it's dope to see her do that. And it's like I'm even looking like with my Airbnb now for this summer is like trying to dedicate a day where content creators and people like minded can we just all take a day and let's get together and like pick a name out the hat and that's who we all supporting that day. You know, like everybody we posting her today. It's all about her today. Then take her name out the hat next week, next name. Just to build some type of camaraderie and like, you know,
I love that.
that feel. We need it.
I
we
love
need
that. So before we go, can you tell us where to find you on any socials?
Yeah, Dirty O 42N is on. I was lucky enough to get that on everything. I believe that's my Instagram, that's my TikTok, that's my Snapchat, and then my name Darrell Westbrook on Facebook. Dirty O is on all streaming sites, far as the music, and yeah. And other than that, you're gonna see me. If you don't follow me on none of those, you're gonna find me on the platform you follow, and then you're gonna follow me from there. Because I got plans on being on some big things. That's how I plan on doing it.
I'm excited to see everything.
Yes.
Thank you for coming today.
I appreciate it. Yes, shout out to Jai Unplugged. Y'all make sure y'all tap in, man.
That concludes our episode for today. That was